Hey you guys, it's been a while since I've been here and I want to talk extensions. I am sharing my top 5 things to be aware of if you've never had extensions before. If you're scared of extensions, don't be scared. I'm going to share this with you so you can be even more prepared. Let's get started. All right, so I've had my hair extensions in for over a year now, and I went in completely blind. I was like, I have no idea what to expect, and I have in the natural beaded rose. So I know there are different types of extensions. I cannot speak about tape-ins or clip-ins or any of that, so I'm just going to be talking strictly about the beaded row extension, so it is sewn into my hair. But I love these ones because like there's no like taking them out or trying to put them in. Like I wake up, they're there, and it's awesome. And I also feel like they hold my curls a lot easier than my real hair had held them. So I used to have long hair, I cut it, I regretted it, and then I found extensions and I'm so happy. I love them. So after having them for the time that I've had them, I feel like yes, I'm going to continue getting them. But there were some things I was like, I wish I knew in advance because I feel like there's some pros and cons, right? Honestly speaking, to having extensions. I remember, so Brittney, I have in right now, I have in my Trust Hair Co extension. So Brittney, my girl who created this hairline, told me it's more of a lifestyle, which is so true. So I did not see Brittney the first time I got my extensions in. I went to DKW Styling Salon and it was a great experience. I'm super thankful. Like they're just kind of far from me, so I wanted to find a gal that was here local, and I actually I love her. I love her salon. If you're in San Diego, I highly recommend her. I feel like she's just this gem that no one has really found out about yet. So I highly recommend her. And her extension, I've only had like 2 different types of extensions to kind of compare. For whatever reason, the way hers are made, I know there are different types of extensions made of different materials, like it does not tangle. I mean, of course there's like some tangling, I brush my hair, but unlike how I had my first set of extensions, like I feel like they're way easier to maintain. So I love my Trust Hair Co extensions. If you're looking at extensions here in San Diego, I'd say go to her first. All right, so my top 5 tips. I'm gonna bring out my phone because I'm old and I can't remember what I'm saying, and I talk a lot and I just go off on like a tangent. Oh, look, bird. Okay, so I would say first tip, take Motrin. So if you are opposed to taking some like over-the-counter stuff, I only take it if I really need it, you guys. I mentioned in another video, like I get migraines a lot, so I take them for migraines, and I take them for when I have like my extensions moved up or when I had this whole new set put in. So I feel, and so I rarely use the Motrin. But I did find it helpful, like the first time I got them done, I was like, okay, like it's kind of tight. It kind of feels like someone is pulling on your hair, but then it's like an extended, like pulling on your hair for a long period of time. And it kind of like made me feel a little bit claustrophobic, you guys. I was like, I cannot just unclip these out of my hair. Like these are in my hair. And so I felt like taking the Motrin helped to alleviate some of the discomfort. So I was like, okay, tip, the day I get my extensions either like a full set put in or moved up, I take Motrin that night, and I'm just kind of prepared to sleep like more on my side, because laying back on like the crown, because the extensions, depending on how many rows you have, are sewn in, and there's less like tugging on those different spots, like if you sleep on your side. So, and one night I did sleep a little bit like elevated up on my pillow. All right, so Motrin helps, so just be prepared for your first night of sleep for the first time you get them put in. All right, and I would say get them ahead of time. Ahead of time, you get it? Is that cheesy? So I was talking to one gal and she was like, I really want to get them done for my wedding. I was like, that's amazing, they're gonna look amazing, but I would not get them if you've never had them before. Don't get them like just in time for your wedding. I would say have a couple rounds. Like I get my extensions moved up probably like every 5 to 6 weeks. I try and push it out. I know sometimes people say to move it up a little bit sooner, but I'm okay with having some growth. I feel like it was such like a shock at how much they were pulling on me. And I remember, like, you guys, just being honest with you, I feel like I was irritable. I was irritable with the kids. Like I was kind of irritable with my husband. It just felt like someone had like this brush in my hair, like constantly pulling on my head, and I couldn't get it to stop. So I was like, wow, it wasn't like super painful. It was just more like kind of an annoying sort of sensation that I was not prepared for. And of course, it seems like obvious, oh, you're putting stuff in your hair, but I didn't really know what that felt like. And so I would say if it's your first time, like, don't, especially for your wedding day, you don't want to be irritable on your wedding day. You don't want to feel uncomfortable. Like, that's like the last thing. Like, you already have so much going on. I would say try the extensions like months before you actually have your wedding day or a special event, whatever it might be. So get them ahead of time and decide if you actually like them. And I would say too, like, give it a couple of weeks. Like, it took me a couple of weeks. Like, I contemplated getting them out. I was like, maybe extensions aren't for me. Like, I just wasn't sure. So that's going to lead me into the next thing. And then don't be afraid to have them in looser. So I know that they want to install them in pretty tight, but I would say be an advocate. If you want to start out just like having them in tight, a lot of people do, I think majority of them do, then that's great. You can start there and evaluate for yourself and see like, oh, I can manage this, it's no problem. Or some people are a little bit more sensitive, like myself, moi, over here. And I'm like, I am going in and asking for them to just like, when they move it up or when they put in a new set, like, I just need to have it looser. Even if that means like I need to come in a little bit more frequently or like they grow out a little bit faster, like just realistically knowing me, like I just need to have, otherwise I'm gonna have like bad sleep for the first few nights. I'm gonna be irritable. Like it's just, it impacted my days more than I thought it would. And my sleep, my days and my nights. So don't be afraid to ask for them to put in looser, even if they say no, because like they are trying to help you out by not coming in as often. So, but again, totally up to you. Just letting you know, I asked for them to be put in looser. And Brittney is extremely accommodating, by the way. And okay, so the next thing I want to mention is be prepared for your scalp to itch. Like, that was not necessarily because it's damaging your hair. Natural beaded rows are like the safest way to have extensions put into your hair because they are basically sewing them in very like small surface area spots on your head. So there's less points of contact on your head or less pulling on your head with them, but the little beads that are there are itchy. Like they just kind of like rub on your scalp, and I was like, oh man, like this is super itchy. And I just was like, okay, well maybe I just need to live with it. Kind of the way I thought like when they were put in tight, like maybe this is just how it is. Like I didn't know any better. Maybe I just need to live with it. Like everybody else gets it done. How are they not bothered by it? And then, oh, it started itching. How are they not bothered by this? So I was given at DKW Styling Salon, they have this Serene Scalp Soothing Leave-On Treatment. So you can kind of just put this on the spots that are itching you. So this was great. I'm like, I hadn't really talked to anybody else who had extensions that mentioned this. So I just want to tell you girls, if you want this, I highly recommend it. And then also too, I was using like a shampoo for my scalp because I do find that my scalp is a little bit drier just because I don't wash as much, but I'm gonna go into that next. I would say like I started just using like like Head and Shoulders from like Target just for like my scalp for a little bit while it was kind of itchy. And but I don't recommend it for overall hair care. I use Kevin Murphy for my hair products because you do want products that are going to be good for your hair extensions and your natural hair that you have. And for if it's color treated, right, all of that, like I would say don't use like drugstore shampoo for that. But just for like my scalp, I would kind of massage it in there. And then I would use like the nicer shampoos and products on my extensions and kind of down below. So, all right, the last thing I want to mention, tip number 5, I'm not even sure if these are tips, but like epiphanies or things to be aware of. I would say don't complicate hair care. Like I was watching YouTube's like tutorials, like I want to, extensions are expensive. Like how can I get the most mileage out of my extensions? Because they say to replace them like after 8 months, but I was really wanting to push them out for like a year. I'm like, what can I do to keep my extensions looking good and get the most bang for my buck, so to speak? And so I would say just don't overcomplicate it. I had not used a dry shampoo until I got extensions, and I love this one. This has legit changed my life. You guys, I would just go around with like greasy hair, put on a ball cap, and like I am so surprised at how much this freshens up my hair because I feel like I get really oily hair, I get really oily skin, all of that, and I'm usually extremely sensitive to smells. I do think this has a strong smell, but it's tolerable. Like, I don't wear perfumes, I wear unscented lotions just because I'm sensitive, you guys. So this has been amazing. Like, I highly recommend this dry shampoo. And I know for being brunette, sometimes dry shampoos leave a residue and this doesn't. So this is a game changer. And it's on Amazon. A tip to tell you guys, your hair extensions are way easier to manage and brush when they are somewhat dry. So I don't even necessarily brush out all of my hair after I come out of the shower. Something else might be helpful is I brush my hair before I go in the shower. So then there's like less tangles. So I don't know, maybe you already do that, but I always brush my hair before I go in the shower. So when I come out, there's not too much tangling that has happened. And then after I let my hair air dry and then kind of dry more out, then I'll go ahead and go back with like a brush where I need to. But I know everybody's hair is a little bit different. Speaking of brushing your hair, it is important to brush your extensions. The first set of hair extensions that I had, like, I didn't know required so much brushing and brushing from the base. So I went in to get my hair extensions moved up and they're like, why aren't you brushing? I was like, I didn't know. And they're like, it looked like a rat's nest, like just all along where I had no idea, like I couldn't see it. And so I was worried, like with my Trust Hair Co extensions, is that what's going to happen? And honestly, it doesn't. And I'm so thankful. Like, these extensions have been really like easy for me to manage. And so maybe like once a week, I'll like just kind of pin up my hair and then start from the base of the extensions and just kind of brush out any tangles that may have happened. I know that I've been told to sleep with your hair braided or just kind of out of the way so your hair isn't going anywhere or all over the place. I feel like it depends on how much of a wild sleeper you are. I feel like I'm not tossing and turning all that much, so I don't sleep with my hair braided. But you could do that if you want to. All right, you guys, I said this was gonna be like 5 tips. I feel like we ended up having like a long like heart-to-heart about extensions here, but I hope it's helpful to kind of just hear like what I had learned that no one had really told me about. And would I get them done again? Yes, it's taken me an adjustment. Now I know to expect like, oh, my scalp is gonna itch from like the rows as they grow out. And I know like how much time I wanna put into washing my hair and actually like brushing my hair. And dry shampoo has been amazing. And you can definitely wear your extensions straight. You don't have to curl them, but I feel like this curl holds like pretty much basically until I wash them again for days. So I'd be like, you know, like a whole week. Go throughout the week. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions at all, like, feel free to comment below. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me here. I know I was posting every Saturday for a while here, but now I'm doing more IGTV. So I'm kind of like mixing things up. One of my favorite words is pivot. And I'm pivoting, and I'm thankful for those of you who are pivoting with me. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, you can go ahead and click subscribe below because I will be posting more here that you won't find anywhere else. And I just love you guys so much. Have an amazing day. Bye.